Boom, boom. This is kind of pretty. Welcome back to the channel. All right, so we got a little bit of Bleach Immortal Souls up today. So as you can see from the startup screen here, they've adjusted Shinsui's skill set. So Yurako is going to do a little bit different the way he works. He's got a little bit more damage, much more tankier. We'll go ahead and talk about him a little bit here in the video as to what this does to the actual character. It makes him a lot stronger in terms of tank. He's now, in my opinion, the best tank in the game. I was running him on Squad Boss. Now, in Squad Boss, normally in my Squad Boss matches, he was dying. Usually, the Squad Boss setup, the back row, you got your three in the back row, and then I got a full hollow Ichigo, and I normally put standard Ichigo, and then Shinji in the front row. That's what my normal setup is, and that's the setup I've been using because it's basically, attacker setup with the red sword as the, the icon. That's the attacker icon set. So, but what I did was, I changed that, when I deduced that it was basically better to use that than my Soul Hall team. Now, when I had my Soul Hall team in, which is, Tensei Gengetsu, Kenpachi, and White Ichigo in the back, and then in the front I would have Shinji, and then Yurako and full hollow Ichigo. That's the way I ran for a long time, probably 3 or 4 months. Every time, that battle always ended the same way. The three in the back would be medium health, they never died in the back row. And then full hollow Ichigo would be the only one alive in the front row, which means Yurako and Shinji would both be dead. They wouldn't be able to take it. Full hollow Ichigo would be alive basically because of his health steal. I mean, it's just ridiculous. He goes in for a swat and he gets, a good chunk of his health back each time. So he never died. He's always alive too. Usually maybe about a half, a little less than a half. And then the squad boss would end because you only get 10 turns on squad boss. So that's what my standard was. So I used him today. He survived both times with more health than full hollow Ichigo. He has a health steal now, okay? So he heals himself. It's not really health steal. It's basically he just heals himself. So he's much more tankier. They increased his damage a little bit. It's really difficult to gauge how much of a damage increase it is. If one of the skills that he has that we'll talk about here shortly procs, it can be quite a bit. But in basic standard, hits, it's a little bit more damage. It's not a lot. So if you were looking, I'm still going to continue with my slot to move Ilkora V2 in there, simply because of the fact that he still does more damage, and the defense reduction he's going to give to the opposing team will be helpful. So, but I'll do an analyst, but yeah. So Shunsui has been upgraded. So let's take a look at what we've got here. So if you go into his skill set now. So what we got here is we've got dual blades attacks. So it deals a single enemy to an enemy plus additional equal to 5% of the target's total hit point, not to exceed 100% of Yurako's attack, and it decreases the target's attack by 15% for 2 rounds. This does more damage. This is his base. It does a little bit more damage. It's easily distinguishable. I mean, it's not a ton of damage or anything like that, but it does do more damage. So you're getting a little bit more out of him. And then its rage skill, this is where we get some changes here. So he deals damage to 3 random enemies, plus additional damage equal to 8% of each target's total hit points. Okay, this does more damage as well too. Not a lot, but a little bit. Not to exceed 160% of Yurako's attack. Now here's where it gets some changes here. So Yurako's gains 1 stack of Game of Entrapment for 2 rounds. Okay, so to a maximum of 2 stacks, and then, of course, after the weapon awakens, of course, the damage is greatly increased. But this Game of Entrapment has an interesting mechanic to it. So when Yurako is attacked by an enemy rage skill, so when somebody rages on him, he causes the attacker to take an equal amount of damage. And Yurako gains 1 stack of Game Entrapment every time he is attacked by a rage skill. So what you're seeing here basically is what can be a large return of damage. So if you get attacked by if you get attacked by someone who has an extremely powerful rage skill, which in this game pretty much everybody does, it's gonna that attacker's going to take the same amount of damage, so it can conceivably take out an enemy, but it has to proc. Okay, so he gets 1 stack each time he's attacked by a rage skill. So pretty much the first rage skill is probably not going to be able to reflect, but anytime after that, it would be, and that's why he did so well on the squad boss. Okay, because you know, he can reflect damage back. So I wanted to see if it was how much damage it was going to increase on the on the squad boss, and there was a damage increase. It was still not enough to say like, oh, he's, you know, they've completely fixed, but he's not an attacker. Okay, he's a tank. He's now the best tank in the game, and here's why. Child's game. Yurako has increased damage reduction rate. Okay, so when Yurako uses basic attacks and master skills, he regenerates health equal to 5% of his total hit points and 25% of his missing health. This is clearly noticeable. Each time he was striking, he was getting health back. And that's why when the squad boss match ended 10 rounds, he was alive. Usually he's dead. And he had actually had more hit points than Full Hollow Ichigo, just by a little bit, but he did. So he's a tank now. He was an okay tank. But my as I said before, my reason for wanting to swap out and put Ilkor in there just to see if it would be better was simply because of his damage. That has not. It's been fixed a little bit. They've given him the chance with that 1 skill and a little bit better, you know, a little bit better damage. Okay, but where his really shows up is the fact that he's now an excellent tank. I mean, he won't die. He's just, you know, if not more hardy than Full Hollow Ichigo. So if you're looking for a tank, he's definitely the way to go, and he's the best one in the game right now. There isn't anybody, I don't think, that compete with his tankiness now that he has an actual, you know, regenerates health. Okay, you can't beat that. So after Yurako is attacked by a basic attack, he gains 1 stack of insight to a maximum of 6 stacks to decrease the damage from basic attack or master skill. Lasts until the end of combat. So each attack decreases the damage taken from enemy basic attacks and master skills. So he's now reducing the damage that he takes, and it looks like it lasts for the whole battle. So yeah, it's apparent. Okay, he was taking some of those shots. He was in the front line, and he was taking some of those shots, and you know, I could visibly see every time he would strike that he was getting a little chunk of health back. It's clearly visible. So, and he was alive. He was not. He would die. Usually Shinji would go first, because my front line was Shinji. I had the front line. I had Shinji, Yuraku, Shunsui, and then I had Full Hollow Ichigo. And those two would always die, and Full Hollow Ichigo would be alive, but that's basically because he steals. But yeah, so yeah, Yuraku went through it fine. Had the most health. So yeah, he's definitely the best tank in the game now, in my opinion. But like I say, tanking was never my issue. But he's definitely still in my definitely makes him a lot better in arena and other things, because yeah, he's going to be able to take more damage now. So we'll have to see. But yeah, I'm still working on Iroquois. Once I get him up, we'll, you know, I'll put him in there and just see how much, you know, how much he does. I'm right here right now. So I'm still, you know, I've got him up to +3. And you know, it just takes a while to get once you get into the, you know, the +3s and the golds, you start to use a lot. It starts to take a lot of materials, so it's tough to really get those materials gathered up. Unless you want to spend a ton of soul jade getting all the stamina, which I don't want to do because I'm trying to build my stamina back up. But yeah, so I only take the first two staminas because I've got them reduced with the talent from I can't remember. So one of the characters has a talent, the talent right here, which reduces the purchase of stamina. So the first two for me cost 16 soul jade, so that's 32 soul jade for extra stamina. That's not bad. I'll do that. It's not a bad deal. All right, so yeah, so let's go ahead and jump into the next thing I want to talk about, which is the current event. which is of course a standard quest event where you get the the coins inside of these. Today is the day. It ends today. The shop will be open. The exchange will be open for 2 more days, but the actual event ends in 14 hours. So you couldn't miss anything. Couldn't miss anything. I did everything every day. I got the full maximum coins that I get, and I got 1 more than needed. So if you missed 1 day of this event, or even missed one, if 1 day you didn't actually complete all of these, you would not have got 2. You'd be 2 short. Which means you'd be 1 short of having enough to purchase a character. So they really got this one close, people. They got this one big time close. Usually you have like 5 or 6 left over. Nah, none this time. So yeah, it's pretty bad how close they made that. But you can always purchase if you need to. They are in the shop. If you go into the limited time packs, you'll see them right here. So you're just going to have to spend a little bit. Maybe spend 99 cents, or maybe to get 3 or 5. You might have to spend a few little coins if you're a few a little pittance there to actually, if you missed any, if you didn't like I did, well, that's what you got. So the maximum that you could get without purchasing was 126. So let's see. I already just said that I was going to purchase this version of Halibut to complete the actual event there. So let's go ahead and go into that. So now if you go look into the team, I gotta look at my bag first here. Yeah, I gotta combine him. So boom, Halibut. Okay, so now if we go into the archive and we look at Halibut. So first we got an album adjustment because we now have activated Halibut. So I need to get this version of Berrigan too, and a bunch of these inside the actual Iran car before I'll be ready to it. That's my weak one. So this completes the Espada 3, old and new Espada 3 by doing that. So now these are able to be set up. Just get a little bit more. Anything to get 2,448. So yeah, so she's complete now. So that completes that set. So let's go into the character here. She should be down here at the bottom. Yeah, so she's an SSR, of course. You don't get any URs in the events. So we've got a couple. Yeah, so she's combining with Nell. She's combining with Stark there, Toshiro and Berrigan. So nothing really from an office standpoint. Talent, battle arena, defense and damage reduction rate. That's not bad. We got her at 3 stars, so we can unlock that. That'll be a nice little buff here. Profile. Let's go into the actual that, and let's go ahead and stick her up. Let's go ahead and stick her up to 40 here. Let's do some basic enhancements. Minimum of blue simply to get unlock the character, and it's that. So we got that. So like I say, she does have a pretty good skill set in terms of what what you're looking for. Up to 40. And a nice chunk of change, 4,000. So yeah, so you definitely want to go for one of the characters in there and claim it. But yeah, you couldn't miss any. I was really surprised when I saw it. I knew when I was doing the initial calculations that it was going to be right on the actual cusp of what you needed to actually complete it, but I was really surprised at how close they did cut that, because just one left over. I mean, of course you can get a bunch of this other stuff without any, without any problem. But yeah, that's just pretty bad in terms of giving it down. But yeah, it's going to end in 14. If you go into the event and look at the daily quest reward, you'll see that the event ends 14 hours. So it's ending. Today's the last day to do it. It will be gone tomorrow. You will no longer be able to gather the gold coins to actually make the purchase. So yeah, so if you missed today, unfortunately, yeah, you're gonna have to, if you want to get a character, you're gonna have to actually go into the daily packs and make up any missed from there, because they just gave you just enough to complete it with only 1 to spare. And of course, if you look in the actual questing, the actual lowest you get was 2. So if you missed one of these, you would be 2 short. So you'd be 1 short of what you need. Yeah, so right on the bus. But yeah, so I hope everybody was able to get in there and get it. So it's good. But yeah, so I did. So Shunsui, Yuraku's Dao, the best tank in the game. I was sort of giving him, I was sort of giving Berrigan the edge, but he's better now. He's more of a tank, and he is. I think he's the best tank in the game easily. So if you do need a tank and you're looking for someone, I think he's definitely a character to start investing in. A little bit more damage, but a lot more in terms of survivability. So yeah, so I just want to get the video out there, let everybody know about the upgrade, and let everybody know that this event ends today. And that if you do come up short, you will have to go into the packs to get the exchange coins that way. All right, so thanks a lot for watching the video. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Once you've subscribed, you'll see a bell. If you click on the bell, you'll be notified each time I drop a video. So this is Kenrick coming at you from the corner, signing out.